All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another trading room on a Thursday afternoon. The time now is 3 minutes after 2. I hope you guys are well wherever you are around Africa. Our African brothers and sisters in the house. Good afternoon. Welcome back once again to the trading room. Remember, we do this every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. right? So if you're joining us for the first time, just like Evaristo is joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe, like, and share and comment. And we're gonna just provide you guys with more of these every week. All right. Remember, we've got a jam-packed week for you guys. We start in the morning at 9 a.m. with the opening bell. All right, with the opening bell every morning at 9 a.m. And then after that, we've got the trading room and much more for you guys. All right. But before we get started, remember the information discussed in the session is not advice. All right. Please be wary of that. All right. So guys, I think let's get it started. Remember, if you guys want to open up an account with us, we are at tdmarkets.com. That is our website, tdmarkets.com. Under account types, you will see the different types of accounts we have for you. All right. We also provide some education for you guys. So all that is required is just an account for you to get into the TD Markets Academy, where we provide trading support, trading education to you. All right. So just sign up today. The link is on the chat right now. The link is on the chat right now. TD Markets Academy. All you need is just an account. And hit us up on the email, that is care@tdmarkets.com. all right. And also for further assistance, you can contact us on the details on the chat. That is our website and that is our hotline. All right. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you never miss insights like this. All right. I'm pretty excited for the session for today. All right. We are almost there, right? We are almost there. End of this month on a Saturday, we are almost there. Brand new month on Sunday, I believe. Yeah. So we're almost there. We're gonna have a look at the charts. We're gonna have a look at what is happening with the charts, if there are any changes that took place, all right, during the course of the week. We had a session on Tuesday, and then we went through some charts. And yeah, so let's see what is going to happen moving forward, right? So let's get it started, guys. Where do we start, right? You guys will let me know, where do we start? Which markets should we look at? Should we analyze? Should we talk about? All right. I already have my trading plan, but yeah, let's hear from you guys. Where should we start? All right, so we've got gold. All right, okay, so let's have a look at gold. Let's have a look at gold because gold is very interesting. A lot is happening. There's a lot of demand in gold. A lot of people are focusing on gold, and we keep it very simple. Remember when you spoke on Tuesday, and that was the same with the previous weeks and previous months. We said that we are bullish on gold. That has not changed. We are bullish, right? The structure we are looking at is extremely bullish. So the focus is we want to focus on buying gold, right? We want to focus on buying gold. So this is what happened since the last time we had a session. I told you guys that there's a possibility, all right? So we had a retest, and then we're anticipating price to continue pushing towards the upside. And I think I told you guys that there's a possibility that gold may come back down to retest this again, and then we get a push towards the upside. The reason to this possibility is because of this possible pattern, right? We may get this possible pattern, which is similar to this one here, right? Which was similar to this one. There we go. So we may see the same thing, where gold may go down one more time before it goes up. At the same time, it might just continue pushing up from there. All right. So our focus is getting this move towards the upside. That's what we focused on. So nothing has changed on gold, right? We're just waiting for it to give us a complete pattern, and then we are then looking for a continuation towards the upside. We're also looking at this possibility. We are also looking at this, well, not the possibility, but this view as well, where we are trading within this ascending channel, and the top of the channel is here. So we may see gold pushing as far as that high, right? All the way back to that high. But yeah, we're going to take it one day at a time or 1 week at a time. So for now, we are looking for a continuation from these lows, either from these lows or a breakout and a push back to the supply zone. So we do have a supply zone right here. That's a supply zone there. So definitely gold is going to be attracted to that supply zone. You see that? So yeah, so let's see what's going to happen. Gold, we remain bullish. So at the moment, we are still correcting. We are still correcting here. If you look at silver, silver also the same thing. All right. So if you go to silver, silver is correcting as well. Let me just do this. There we go. Silver is correcting, and silver may just come back down to this low. Right? Silver may just come back down to this low before it goes up. So within this correction, we are looking at this possibility where silver could do this, give us a new low, and then continue going up. Another higher low. You see that? So we're just waiting for this higher low. So all we're going to do now is just to keep an eye on this price action here, because the market is moving in a channel. Maybe if we go to the 15 minutes, let's drop to the 50. There we go. So silver at the moment is moving within this descending channel, right? So if we are interested in buying silver, we're just looking for one thing. We're just looking for a break out of this channel. So there's a possibility that it may come back down to this low before we push towards the upside. All right. So the bigger structures on gold and silver, those ones remain bullish. They remain bullish. All right. And before we continue, let me just do this, right? The calendar, just be aware of tomorrow's news. Okay, we've got the PPI tomorrow, so just be aware of that as one of the important indicators. It's an inflation indicator, very important. So just be on the lookout for that. So it seems like gold is not moving at the moment, right? Silver not moving at the moment. There's low volume at the moment. So it could be that it's waiting for the news to break out. It could be that. So let's see. Let's see. But if you're holding any dollar positions, right? Dollar positions, just be on the lookout for this. We also have the unemployment claims in an hour and a few minutes, right? At 3:30. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So yeah, so that's it with gold. All right. Gold, we are watching out for this possibility, right? One more push towards the upside, at least going back to at least 5,350. So maybe let's round it off. All right. 5,350. Somewhere around. There we go. Yeah. Somewhere around there. That's our target on gold. Now, if gold breaks above, then we are looking at gold pushing back to the all-time high. There's a possibility, a huge possibility, that whatever gold does, it's going to go back to the all-time high, right? It's going to go back to the all-time high. So yeah, so this is the focus for us. This is the focus for us. Getting a move towards the upside. All right. So yeah, so starting the session with gold. There, you have gold, right? And then anything else, guys? Let's see. The second one, NZD USD. NZD USD is very interesting. All right, very interesting because it is creating a popular pattern, which is a flat pattern. All right. So I'm gonna start from the 8. Okay, I'm gonna start from the daily time frame. Right. So this is how we are approaching NZD USD. This is our target. All right. We are targeting this. Let me do this. Yeah, we've got this target. We're anticipating NZD USD to go back to that high, right? And at the moment it's trading within this structure here. Now I want you guys to notice something about the structure. It's very important. Notice before we get that impulsive move, right? Before we got this impulsive move, look at what price did. It created a correction, right? In fact, it created a corrective pattern. So this was the corrective pattern that formed before we got that aggressive rally towards the upside. There we go. Now, the market is repeating the same thing. So what it's doing right now is it is creating another flat pattern. Now, these are patterns, guys. These are popular patterns in technical analysis. They are called flat patterns. All right. They are a little bit more advanced, but yeah, they're just simple, right? So we have another flat pattern here. Another flat pattern. So let me maybe draw it this way. There we go. We've got another flat pattern. Now, what usually happens, guys, before price continues towards the upside, what usually happens is the market tends to go back down to give us a new low to complete the pattern, and then from there we get that push towards the upside. You see how it is? So this is what NZD USD is doing right now within this bullish structure. This is what it's doing right now. So I'm just waiting for this. I'm just waiting for price to come back down here. That's what I'm waiting for, right? I'm actually looking for a buy. So I'm just waiting for price to come back down here for me to look for my buys. So maybe around, let me see. Okay, yeah, maybe around 0.59200, right? 0.59200. I'm waiting for price to reach this low. Then I'm looking for this, right? So in the meantime, there's a possibility that, or rather, we could get some short-term sell opportunities. I'm not focused on that, right? I'm not focused on selling, but we could get this one more push down before one more push up, right? And for this move towards the downside, back down to this low, right? We could be getting something like this. I'm focused on a buy rather than a sell, right? Focus on a buy rather than a sell. So let's see what's going to happen, but I'm keeping an eye out for a buy here. So that is how NZD USD is doing. There's a bit of dollar strength at the moment, okay? There's a bit of dollar strength at the moment. So that dollar strength, definitely we see it. We are seeing Euro USD trying to go down one more time, which is what we spoke about on Tuesday. GBP USD trying to go down one more time. But I'm not for that dollar strength, right? Personally, I'm not for the dollar strength. I think I'm still leaning towards dollar weakness. Looking at what gold is doing, looking at what the commodities are doing, looking at what the indices are doing, I think I'm for a weaker dollar. So if we get this move down on NZD USD, I'm not gonna take this move down. I'm not gonna sell this market, right? I'm just looking for a buy. But now at the same time, there's a possibility price can still go up from where it is. There's a possibility that since the market is creating this structure on the lower time frame, there's a possibility that price can still go up from there, right? So I would want it to come back down here for a good risk and reward ratio, right? I mean, from here we could easily get about 190 pips. Yeah, about 190 pips, right? That's going to be a good risk and reward ratio. So entry is going to be somewhere here, maybe stop loss somewhere here, and the target there. There's a good RR. Yeah, so that's basically my plan on NZD USD, right? A simple one. So let's see what is going to happen. Yeah, so that's NZD USD. If you look at AUD USD, right? AUD USD, unfortunately, we were anticipating one more push down before this move up, right? But unfortunately, this one just along the way just reversed and went all the way up. All right, so if we are to update AUD USD at the moment, this is how we're looking at it, right? It has gone back to that high. Let me just do this. Right, cool. Look at where it is right now. It has gone back to this high, right? Obviously, this is a very strong resistance. We are looking at a very strong resistance here. A very strong resistance. So that's where the market is. Now, usually when the market is around zones like this, there are always two possibilities, guys. There's a possibility price will break and go up. There's a possibility price will reverse and go down. I'm on the weekly time frame right now. All right. So these are the two possibilities we see on NZD USD. So now we just have to wait to see, right? If price breaks, if price was to break towards the upside, then all we're looking for is a correction here. I mean, a retest. We're looking for a retest for one more push up. But if price decides to reverse, then we're anticipating price to reverse down to this low or even this low, right? But let me just zoom out. There's also this low. We also have this low here. We still have this low, right? So any reversal on AUD USD, I would anticipate at least for it to come back to this low, to go back to this low. You see how it is? So these are the two possibilities we have. So we just have to wait on the lower time frames to see, because at the moment there's pretty much nothing at the moment. Pretty much nothing. All right. So we could easily get about 90, 100 pips from this one. Yeah. So that is how AUD USD is looking. Now remember, guys, all right? Remember, the information that we're discussing in this session is not advice. Please take this very seriously, all right? What I'm doing here, I'm not giving advice. I'm just looking at the charts, reading the charts, and looking for possible future trends, right? But I'm not giving any advice, right? So let's go. Yeah, so NZD USD, this is how we're looking, all right? Please don't forget to check US 30 and NASDAQ. Look, I got you. US 30 and NASDAQ. There we go. Look, we spoke about this on Tuesday, guys. We spoke about a break towards the upside or a break towards the downside. All right. Now, this was because of this formation. This is a contracting formation. I know that everyone in this session, you know this formation. So whenever this formation forms, these are the two possibilities. Okay, because it's bilateral. It can give us bilateral movements. So it broke towards the upside. I hope you guys saw this. Now, what's coming next, right? Let's go back to the structure. Let's see, right? Do we see any changes of the structure? Let's see. So everything is still bullish. All right. So if everything is still bullish, I would still focus on one more push towards the upside, going back to that high, right? If everything is still bullish, I would anticipate NASDAQ to continue pushing up. So we need just higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs up until we get there, right? It seems like we're gonna resume back to that zone there. So that's how NASDAQ is looking, right? Very simple. Should there be any changes on this, we'll discuss those changes if there's gonna be any changes, all right? But for now, this is what we have. Let me just do this. Just 1 second. Interact. All right. The chat just disappeared. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's all right. Great stuff. And let's look at US 30. Now, US 30 has resumed towards the upside, right? This is what I was waiting for. So US 30 has resumed towards the upside. So US 30, we see it continue breaking previous highs and creating new highs. That is what we see, all right? So we have this low here that formed. Basically, the market now is trying to break out of this formation. This is the formation we have at the moment. Right. Great stuff. So now, anticipating the market to continue pushing up, because overall, the trend is still bullish. All right. So anticipating price to continue going up. So just looking for a break, maybe a bit of a retest, and then a continuation back to that high. Right. So a break, a retest, and the continuation back to that high. There's a possibility, right? There's a possibility that price may try to go back down one more time before it breaks out. You see that there's always that possibility that price could go down one more time. So we could get this situation again one more time, and then this. So it will depend what's going to happen here. It will depend what's going to happen there. Are we going to break, correct, and continue, or are we going to reject and go down? Yeah, so but I think this is a good setup, right? I think NASDAQ, US 30 are good setups for one more push towards the upside. NASDAQ has broken out of the structure here, right? It has broken out of the structure, even though it would be, the ideal situation here, it would be for price to break this structure as well, right? To give us a new high, any correction there, a continuation up. This would be the ideal scenario. You see that? So I think this is some really good opportunity on NASDAQ, US 30 as well. Once we get that push up, it's going to be a nice opportunity. A nice opportunity. So that's your NASDAQ, right? Just follow the trend. I don't want to say trend, but just follow the current structure, right? So this is the current structure at the moment. So you just want to keep it very simple and follow the current structure and work on your setups. That's it. That's it. All right. So US 30, there you go. NASDAQ, US 30, there we go. 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 All right. Let me look at the chat. We've gone over gold. Okay, NZD, USD, NASDAQ, US 30. What else do you guys want us to look at? Let's see. What else? Natural gas. All right. There should be demand on natural gas at the moment. All right. There should be demand. So the seasonal movement of natural gas is that in the northern hemisphere, all right, obviously at the moment it's a lot more colder than it is in the southern hemisphere, right? So now there should be a lot of gas, a lot of demand in gas, and gas prices should be going up because of that. So whenever in the southern hemisphere it's cold, northern hemisphere is hot, and vice versa, right? Northern hemisphere cold, southern hemisphere hot. So there should be, I'm expecting natural gas to continue pushing up if it's not pushing up, right? Let's see what's happening. Okay, that's not the case. Okay, this is weird. That's not the case. Anyway, so let's see what the price action is doing here. Let's see. Yeah, so looking at the structure, right? Natural gas is going back to this low, right? It's going back to this low. So we had a lower high here. So price failed to go all the way up. We had a lower high. So this is the previous low. So this is a continuation, right? A continuation for one more push towards the downside. I think there was a 61.8 retracement. Yeah, there was a 61.8 retracement. So this move going down is not complete at the moment, right? It's going to complete once price reaches this low. So I would anticipate natural gas just to go a little bit lower to go down to that low. Now, from that low, what should we anticipate? What I would then do is the following. Let me do this. Where is it? Whoa. Right, from there, then we've got this situation now. Once price gets there, we are then going to look at the situation. Let me just remove the fib. There we go. So price broke this high, all right? And then it gave us just kind of like a small high before it dropped. So there's a possible pattern we can get here. All right, where price is going back down to this low, break this low, and then could give us a new low. So it seems like there's a lot of bearish momentum on natural gas at the moment. Let me see where the fib is not gonna work. Yeah, there's a lot of bearish momentum on natural gas. So we could see natural gas pushing back down to these areas here, right? $2, 2.2, 2.3, somewhere here. One more push back down to this before any move towards the upside, right? But At the moment, let's focus on one more push down. Yeah, usually around this time, there's a lot of demand, even from December, November, whatever. There's a lot of demand on natural gas because of what's happening in the northern hemisphere. So let's see what's going to happen there, right? So one more push on natural gas, and then we'll talk about it once it reaches this low. All right. So there we have the natural gas. And Amazon. Let's see what we have on Amazon. The Amazon stock. Let me just do this. The Amazon stock is quite interesting. Let me just change these colors here quickly. Okay, so the Amazon stock is quite interesting because it is still trading within the bullish structure, right? It seems like now it has completed a correction. So when it initially broke this high here, right, it gave us a new high. So then it went into a correction, a corrective structure, right? And this is the corrective structure here. It went into the corrective structure. So this structure just needed to break this low. You see what Amazon is doing right now. It is not by chance, right? It is because it's trading within the formation that needed to break this low one more time to give us a new low, and then from there resume towards the upside. So hence I said it seems like it has completed this corrective pattern here. So as long as we've broken this low, right, at any point around here, we are likely going to resume the current structure towards the upside. So it's still trading within this. All right. So anticipating a higher low and then a continuation up. So here a higher low and then one more push towards the upside. Yeah. So I think there's also some great opportunity on Amazon, and the other one was natural gas. Yeah, natural gas seems like it's still gonna go down one more time, back down to the zone, and then Amazon, it's trying to find a higher low here. It's trying to find a higher low and one more push up. Yeah, great opportunity on Amazon. All right. There we go. So up next we've got good afternoon, great to see you. Likewise. What's the latest on Berkshire Hathaway, Palantir, and USD ZAR? All right, nothing has changed. So the Berkshire Hathaway, it's correcting. We're looking for a continuation up. Let me bring back the chart. So I spoke about Berkshire Hathaway on one of the opening bell sessions. All right, so we're still bullish. At the moment. It's just correcting. So I guess it needed to come back down to this low. It needed to tap this low one more time before we continue back to this high. Back to that high, right? So it broke this high and then it went back into a correction. But now look at where it's coming from. It's coming from this low. So structurally, everything is still bullish, right? We came back from this low. Now we're pushing up, breaking structure towards the upside. And what is happening right now is nothing but a correction. So we are keeping an eye now on this, right? That retest and that continuation back towards the upside. So nothing has changed on this one. The correction is just taking its own time. So I would anticipate the market to start pushing up from these zones. I would anticipate the trend to start pushing up from these zones. We can even use the Fibonacci as well. We can combine this with the Fibonacci, maybe get that 61.8. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so I would anticipate from here for price to start pushing back to this high or even back to that high, which is around, let's see. So first for it to go back to 511, let's say 512 dollars per share, right? Maybe to reach that, and then if it breaks, to go up to $516 per share. Yeah. So there we go. That would be the setup I would look at. All right. So Berkshire away, nothing has changed. And then we've got Palantir. It's been a while since I looked at Palantir. Let's have a look. It's important to diversify your portfolio, guys. All right. If some of you guys don't know what this chart is, this is a stock, right? This is the stock price of a company called Berkshire Hathaway. One of the companies I like, right? I like to follow. I like to analyze because the chairperson and the former CEO of that company is nothing but the legendary Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett just stepped down as CEO, but he remains the chairperson. All right. So there's a new CEO. But looking at what Warren Buffett did with this company, if you go back and do your research, right, on what Warren Buffett did and what it was Warren Buffett and the late great legendary, I forgot the name, but you guys will go back. If you do your research and see what they did with the company, look, you're just gonna fall in love with this company, all right? And you can even trade it, publicly trade it, but the long-term trajectory of this company is just bullish, of the stock is just bullish, all right? So yeah, so you guys will go back. Palantir is another stock. Let's have a look at Palantir. One of the stocks that I also love looking at. There we go. But it's been a while now since I looked at it. All right, let's see what's happening. Very simple. There we go. Got it. I can already see what's going to happen here, right? I'm going to keep it very simple. So now, the market right now is trading on the 50 Fibonacci. If you take your Fibonacci, it's trading on the 50 Fibonacci. There we go. There we go. So everything is still bullish. We also need to keep an eye on the fundamentals of the company, right? So when you look at these stocks, don't just trade them just like you would with FX. You also need to look at the fundamentals of these stocks, because you might find that for the last 12 months or the last quarter, the company lost X amount of billions and they had to retrench, they had to scale down. Now, fundamentals like that, obviously they're going to affect the stock negatively, right? So also we need to look at that. We don't have time to do that at the moment, but I'm just going to do the technicals, and then you guys will just go and have a look at if there's any fundamentals, all right, of this. But from a technical standpoint here, this looks bullish. This still looks bullish, where we could see it pushing back to this area here, pushing back to the zone. So this would be the structure I would look for a possible retest. So we went towards the downside. We are within a very, very sensitive area, right, around this area, which is the 61.8. So what I would anticipate here is for price to find some support and then to go back to the structure, right? And then from that structure, we'll then see what's going to happen. But for it to at least go back to the structure. So let's see. Yeah. Let me do this. There we go. On the line chart is a little bit better, right? Yeah, find a support and then go back to that structure there. Let's see on the lower time frames, what do we have? Yeah, what I would say is keep an eye on the zone for any higher low here, right? Just like this higher low, and then for one more push back there, and then from there it could easily still continue pushing up, but let's take it one piece at a time. So Palantir, great stuff. So this is like a nice price action. All right, and then USD ZAR, right? USD ZAR, I have it here. I think I have it open here. USD ZAR, which is still bearish. Still bearish. The exotics. Let's see. There we go. 1587. Yeah, still bearish. All right. So I'm just going to continue from the analysis I did the other time. All right. I'm just going to continue from the analysis I did the other time. So everything is still bearish. And looking at the current price action, there's a possibility we're going to see this pushing back, right? Pushing back to around, yeah, I mentioned this structure, I think the last time we spoke about this, around 15.37. 15.37. That's where USD ZAR could easily go back to, because this is a very, very, very strong structure that we had the last time. So there's a lot of liquidity around the zone. All right, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, so what we want to do is just to follow this, follow this move towards the downside. So if we drop to the lower time frames, this is what we see now, right? I'm going to try and be very simple, right? There is a corrective structure that's forming here. There's a corrective structure that's forming. And that corrective structure could give us these two possible movements, right? So overall, we know that we are bearish. So watch this. According to this pattern here, there's a possibility that we're still going to continue going down, right? But now there's another possibility that we're going to go back to this high one more time and then go down after. There's a possibility that the market is going to do this, go back to this high one more time and then go back down. Why that high exactly? It is because of the pattern, the behavior of this pattern. We are looking at the pattern like this, right? We are looking at a pattern like this where price could go back up one more time, create that new high and then go down. I'm not going to get too deep into this, right? So yeah, so either we're going to create a new high, go down, or this is just going to continue going down from here, right? It's going to continue going down from here. But the movement we are looking for is definitely this one. This one, right? So if I was to look for a trade on USD ZAR, I would not buy this. I would look for sells up until we reach 1537. Up until we reach 1537. That's what I would look for. So this push towards the upside, it's a 50-50. This move is a 50-50. It might form, it might not form. You can take the risk. But definitely this is the move which has a higher probability chance of developing or forming. You see that? So yeah, so this is what USD ZAR is doing. So let's see next week what it will be doing next week, because there could be one more push up before we go down. It's similar to this, guys. It's similar to this here. Even though it's a different pattern, but it's similar to this. Let me show you. In fact, let me go to the lower time frame. It's similar to a pattern like this where price did this, and then dropped. All right. And then you will notice with this pattern, it's a pattern like this. So there was a possibility that the market was going to go up one more time before it continues towards the downside. Right. So yeah, so USD ZAR, there we go. Let's see what's going to happen. I think we're going to get that pattern, but let's see. All right, so there you have it. That is Palantir, Berkshire Hathaway, and USD ZAR. GBP, JPY, please. Yeah, no, that one is going up, definitely. GBP, JPY is still going towards the upside. So this is the previous analysis I did. So yeah, so this one definitely looking for continuation towards the upside, right? So excuse me, so every time it creates these corrections, right, these are opportunities for upside. You see that? So now we've got the correction. In fact, I'm gonna look at this. I think it's in my watch list. I think GBP JPY is in my watch list. All right, so just following this trend up until we reach this high. Yeah, we've got different colors here. Let me do this. Yeah, so yeah, it's still bullish. I would anticipate a this to continue pushing up until we reach that high, definitely. So I'm gonna definitely look at this continuation up. I'm gonna look at this continuation towards the upside. So that is GBP JPY, right? Just like that. Gold and Nasdaq, we've already gone over gold and Nasdaq, right? So maybe just rewind a little bit. We've already gone over gold and Nasdaq, right? Gone over gold and Nasdaq. I need to rewind just. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. You may just need to rewind a little bit. We've already gone, but if we still have time, we can still go over that, right? Euro AUD, Euro USD, the dollar, it's a little bit, in fact, I'm leaning towards a weaker dollar. You see how we've had dollar strength, but I'm leaning towards a weaker dollar. So my setup on on Euro USD hasn't changed, still bullish, right? I'm still looking or waiting for this move. But short term, right? The market has created this low short term. There's a possibility the market might just create a double bottom here before it goes up, right? The dominant move here definitely is towards the upside, but there's a possibility we may get a double bottom. Exactly what happened here. There was a double bottom here, price went up. We may get that. So if you see this going back down, it's because it's completing this cycle, right? There's a cycle here on the lower time frame. It's completing that cycle. So yeah, so either it's gonna come back down before this move towards the upside, or it's just gonna break and go up. Sometimes they also do that. So yeah, so Euro USD, this is what I'm waiting for, right? I'm leaning towards a weaker dollar, personally, and looking at the current structure. That's why gold still bullish, silver still bullish, Euro USD, GBP USD, this was still bullish, but they may go down one more time. Something you need to keep an eye on, right? So Euro USD, yeah, so looking for price to go back to this high again. And then Euro AUD, I believe Euro AUD, it's still bearish, but there's a correction there. Let's have a look at it. Euro AUD, there's a correction towards the upside, but it is still bearish. You see now this move is overextended. You see this move on the weekly time frame, it's overextended, right? If you go to the monthly, look at it, it's overextended. So the lower time frames are just gonna try and correct this move, right? Something you should also keep in mind, that there could be a big correction before you go down. But this one still bearish. It seems like this one is going back down to this low first, right? It's going back down to this low first, even though at the moment it's around a very important structure. So there's the structure on the left here, right? So now what's happening at the moment is this. Let me just zoom in. Yeah, this thing could break towards the upside. Could easily break towards the upside. It could easily break towards the upside. There. So on the higher time frame, it's sitting here, right, on the structure. So this structure could create a support and then price go up. We just need to wait for further confirmations, confluences, all right? So now on the lower time frame, it is moving like this now, right? So looking for a possible push back to that high there. About 90-80 pips back to that high. It can still slowly continue pushing down, but you see structures like this is where price breaks towards the upside with structures like this, and they become even stronger when we have a support or a resistance, right? So we are on a support zone. Don't be surprised when you see price going up like this. This is what I would look for. one more push towards the upside, right? Let me just do this. Damn. Let me just push this towards the upside, and let me move this slightly below. There we go. Right, we've got 22 viewers watching us live. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, share, like. We also have new guys in the session at the same time, so thank you for joining us. We do this every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. We also have one in the morning, Mondays to Fridays at 9 a.m. That is the morning market commentary. That's Mondays to Fridays, but this specific session takes place only Tuesdays and Thursdays. We also have the crypto one on Friday. So on Fridays around this time, we've got a crypto dedicated session. All right. So just watch on our live sessions on YouTube. You'll get the schedule there. All right. So Euro AUD, there we go. USD JPY, it has gone back to that high we spoke about. So this was one of the opportunities for this week. Go back to that high, right? Now, from this high, right? I mean, to be fair, it's a resistance. This high is a resistance. So we can't ignore the fact that it is a resistance, all right? And also, looking at let me go to the daily time frame. There we go. So on the daily time frame, we have this low, right? So now there are two possibilities, and this is because of where the market is sitting. The market is on the resistance, right? There are two possibilities here, guys. Support resistance, you have this possibility, you've got this possibility. So it will depend whether there's a lot of profit taking that's happening or not, right? It will depend on whether the sellers that are here are still stronger or not. But these are the two possibilities here. Either we're going to get a break, push towards the upside, or a rejection and push towards the downside. You see how it is? So that's basically how USD JPY is looking. So let's see what's going to happen. Let's give it just this week. Let me look at the weekly candle. Yeah, I think we need to wait for this week to pass, right? And then next week we'll see what's going to happen. If you get a break up, then we're going back to this high. We're going back to that high, right? Or even this high, if you get a break towards the upside. If you get a rejection, then we're coming back to this low. Coming back to this low. You see how it is? So this one, it is like this because of where price is at the moment. So we just need to sit back, wait, and let the market tell us what it's trying to do, all right? What is it trying to do? So that's USD JPY. Earlier on this week, we spoke about this move up, right? So if you guys remember, when we spoke about USD JPY, there was only one possibility, and it was the push towards the upside. But now we've got two possibilities because of where price is. Very important. Very important. So that is your USD JPY. All right. So there's a lot of opportunities, guys. A lot of setups, opportunities. I mean, you know, look, just be clear on what you want. Have a trading plan. All right. Have a trading plan. Without a trading plan, it's going to be very difficult. Imagine you go to war without a plan. So as a trader, you need to have your trading plan. You need to trust your trading plan, not just draft it down and backtest it. No, you need to trust your trading plan, right? So trust it and follow your trading plan. That's it, right? So yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities. Let's see what's going to happen for the remainder of the week going into next week. But definitely, personally, I'm watching out for dollar weakness, all right? There was a bit of strength this week, but I'm watching out for dollar weakness. So which means top of my watch list is gold. Gold is top of my watch list at the moment, right? Looking for a continuation up. Silver, top of my watch list. Looking for a continuation up on silver, right? So whenever this correction completes, I'm looking for a continuation up. And US 30, top of my watch list. Looking for a continuation up on US 30, right? I might also include NASDAQ, we'll see, but NASDAQ could also be top of my watch list as well for a push towards the upside. And then, yeah, in terms of, you know, the FX pairs, I'm not really watching or looking at something solid at the moment. Yeah, So for me personally, gold, silver, Nasdaq US 30, this is where my eyes, or where I'm gonna keep my eyes, right? There we go. So guys, that's it. It's been a good session. It's been a good week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are learning. Before we leave, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. And remember, we do have some education. We do have some education for you guys. The TD Markets Academy. All you need is just an account with us. Get it verified. Put a bit of funds in there. And then we will then chat more on the TD Markets Academy. All right. So from my side, that's it. It's been a good one. Enjoy the rest of the week. No, tomorrow we've got the crypto one, Crypto Decrypted at 2 p.m. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your afternoon and we'll chat again very soon.